Hi everyone, today I wanted to talk to you about some of the new releases that came out recently or are going to be coming out later this year that I'm really excited to read. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I'm really excited to read is In 5 Years by Rebecca Serrell. I've been wanting to read this book ever since I saw the cover. I really love romances that are set in New York City. And when I saw this book, I just knew that I was gonna love it. This came out in March 2020. From what I know, it's basically about this girl who is a numbers person and is not very whimsical, doesn't really believe in fate. And, she got this great job and she has, accepted her boyfriend's marriage proposal. But one day she wakes up and she is sleeping next to a different guy with a different ring on her finger in a different apartment. And it's 5 years later and she gets to spend an hour in the future before she goes back to her regular life. I just think the synopsis sounds really interesting because not only do I love books set in New York, but I also love time travel, and I'm really curious to see if I end up liking this book or not. So the next book I'm really excited about is called My Ride or Die by Leslie Cohen. If you saw my wrap up, you'll know that I really love Leslie Cohen's writing. I read This Love Story Will Self-Destruct, and it's one of my favorite contemporary romances, which is pretty rare since that's not usually my genre of choice. But I've been waiting for her to come out with another book for so long, and so I was really excited to find out that she is releasing her next book this July. And all I really know of it, I'm assuming it's also based in New York City, and I believe it's about two friends that decide that they are not going to pursue love anymore and just focus on their friendship. And I just think it's going to be a really interesting story about two friends as they find themselves in New York and also maybe find love along the way. So the next book that I'm interested in reading isn't quite a new release. It came out in August 2018, but I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called Where the Crawdad Sing by Delia Owens. I honestly don't really know what it's about. So many people have suggested for me to read this book, and I've been putting it off, and then I was like, well, why not pick it up? I usually don't like books that have a lot of hype surrounding it, so I'm a little bit worried. I've been waiting for it to come in from the library for a while now, but I think I might just get it via audio because I don't know when my library is going to be opening back up. But if you've read this book, please let me know if it's worth the hype or if I should just not read it at all. So this book is going to be really random, and I'm not really a YA person, but I read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue and also the second book, which was about his sister, and I really loved that book for some reason. I just thought it was so fun and entertaining and adventurous, and so that's why I picked up the second one, which is called The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. I didn't love the second one as much, but when I heard that there was a third book that was coming out, I was really excited. So the third book is called The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks, and when I found out there was going to be a third, I was like, okay, I have to read it. I just think it's really light and entertaining. It's going to be a really fun summer read. I also just think it's a really interesting concept. So basically what the first book is about is this, oh god, I read this so long ago. It's about this guy named Monty who is taking a tour of Europe with his friend slash crush and his sister, and they get into all of these wild adventures, and it's just really fun. So I just can't wait to read the third book and see how the story actually expands. So the next book is also a YA book. It's called Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. This is also the third book in a series. I'm sure you've heard of Love and Gelato and Love and Luck. They're just YA contemporary romance. I wouldn't say it's a series you have to read in chronological order. They're more companion novels. I'm not the biggest fan of this series, but I love listening to these books via audio just because I just find them really heartwarming and just an easy read to listen to while I'm walking around the city. I believe that Love and Olives obviously takes place in Greece, which is why Olives is in the name. But I just think, again, this is going to be a really nice contemporary read. So I already requested it on audio, so I should be one of the first people that actually receives it from my library. The next two books, I'm actually not sure if I want to read them. I've just heard a lot of good things about them, but I don't really know if I'm gonna like them or not. So if you've read these books, please comment down below and let me know if you think that these books are worth the hype and if I should give them a chance. So the first book is called Beach Read by Emily Henry. I know it's been all over BookTube. Everyone's been talking about it. I don't know why I'm interested in reading it. It might just be like a fun and easy read, but that's usually not what I like, which is why I'm kind of hesitant putting it on this list, especially a contemporary romance, which I know I've put a lot of contemporary romance on this list, but this one just seems a little too fluffy for me. But again, I could be wrong. All I know is it's about these two writers who have writer's block, so they both are in these beach homes like side by side, and they, you know, try to help each other get out of writer's block, and then a romance develops. Again, if you've read this book, please let me know if it's worth the hype. I'm not totally sure if I want to pick it up, but I might in the future. The next book is called Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I was like just reading the synopsis for this book, and it actually sounds more interesting than I thought. It's just about like this writer who is, you know, trying to find herself amidst grief, and I just think this also sounds really interesting. I know that it was a book in a recent like book of the month selection. Again, I was like a little bit hesitant about this book because I wasn't sure if it's something that I would be interested in, but after reading the synopsis, I actually may bump it up to be on my TBR, and we'll see if I actually end up liking it or not. So those are the books that I'm planning on reading in the next few months. Please let me know in the comments down below if you're excited about those books, either the new releases or the ones that have already come out. If there's a book you think that I should avoid, let me know so I won't pick it up. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'm excited to actually create some video content to see if these books live up to my expectations. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one.